Fun.
Fun, energy, and good vibes. I mean, that's a pretty trademark phrase that I've been using.
It's funk.
This show has definitely made me more funky.
It's sophisticated funk.
Well, I was born funky.
This will be the coolest place on television, I'm telling you.
By the end of the 1980s, Ted Turner's cable TV conglomerate had acquired the MGM Film Library, which included the older catalog of Warner Brothers cartoons. In 1991, it purchased Hanna-Barbera Productions. Cartoon Network was initially an outlet for older cartoon reruns, the Droopy D cartoons, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry. The latter would continue to remain on the network even during its heyday in the 2000s and early 2010s. Cartoon Network was initially competing with Nickelodeon and Disney Channel during the 90s. Nickelodeon was basically ahead of the trio during the 90s, known for its offbeat and weird humor. Disney Channel also had shows like the Mickey Mouse Club series, Goof Troop, and so on. Meanwhile, in 1996, Time Warner purchased Turner Broadcasting, which included Cartoon Network. From there, Cartoon Network was able to gain access to the Warner Brothers cartoon library. These shows included popular shows at the time like Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. However, Cartoon Network struck gold in the latter 90s with original content like Dexter's Laboratory in 1996, Johnny Bravo in 1997, and the Powerpuff Girls in 1998. Andre 3000 was one half of the rap duo Outkast, with their first album being released in 1994. They were most known for incorporating Afrofuturistic themes in their style and music while also staying true to their Atlanta roots. Their most successful and most mainstream album, The Love Below, sold up to 5 million copies in the US as of 2012. Thomas Lynch met with Vice President of Programming for Cartoon Network Mike Lazo to pitch new projects. While discussing an idea for a new animated series, the two realized that they wanted to make a series based off of Outkast's album Speakerboxxx, The Love Below. They contacted Andre 3000 to turn his The Love Below into an animated show for Adult Swim. However, Andre was uninterested in the idea and instead proposed coming up with an original concept and have it set in Atlanta as he wanted to showcase the city's rich culture.
The concept I talked to him about in the very beginning was that I wanted to do a show of a bunch of kids that needed each other but were outcast in their own right. He took that idea and then he ran with it and said, man, what if we did it kind of like where I grew up in Atlanta? What if we made it all Southern? I said, that's great. I hadn't heard that before.
I wanted to do like a truly original, like Dirty South cartoon. You never get to see those voices. You know, I felt like it was a great backdrop for what I wanted to do.
Development for the series took 2.5 years and it finally premiered on Cartoon Network on November 3rd, 2006. The series follows Sonny Bridges, voiced by Andre 3000, a superstar turned music teacher who teaches a group of music students at a performing arts school in Atlanta. His students were Lil D, Madison, Tamika, Eddie, Philly Phil, and Kim and Cam. There was also a song featured in every episode, and all the music had elements of rap, rock, R&B, funk, jazz, and even classical music, all of which you can hear a clear influence from The Love Below. The series ran for 2 seasons with 28 episodes produced. However, during its run, the show's creator Thomas Lynch and Andre 3000 were sued by a man who claimed to have pitched a similar show to Cartoon Network years prior. Former art student Timothy McGee sued the duo in 2008, claiming the series took elements from his pitch for an animated series titled The Music Factory of the 90s. McGee claimed that he pitched the series to the then vice president of the network in 1997. He says the series featured a young corporate type with music production aspirations as well as a tough, full of attitude female executive, a young techno-whiz sound engineer, a talented young Asian singer, and a central, energetic young singer/rapper. He also wanted singer-songwriter Babyface to host the show. However, Cartoon Network returned the pitch with a letter explaining that the series did not fit their programming needs. McGee went on to file a federal complaint on Andre and Lynch, stating that the show violated his copyright. A judge later ruled that the series did not take any elements from McGee's pitch. The judge pulled the example that Class of 3000 is based on fantasy, whereas The Music Factory was based in reality. In quote, Class of 3000 is full of fantasy and magic. For example, Sonny lives in a magical forest with a bear who drives a convertible and a boom box toting rabbit, whereas Music Factory is grounded in reality.
A lot of it's based on Andre's memories of childhood, but I wanted to have a very magical, whimsical character that kind of led these kids. The Willy Wonka, the Wizard of Oz, the Pied Piper, it has those elements to it.
Growing up, you had Peanuts. And there was this cool musical element, and so I wanted to create a vehicle where music was really the driving force or the background, to this cartoon. You gotta think, this is a music school, and these are talented kids, so they can damn near play anything. So expect anything.
In the end, McGee did not win the case. Class of 3000 was canceled partially due to budget constraints, low ratings, and scheduling conflicts for Andre not submitting the songs for the show's deadline. Cartoon Network's heyday, in my opinion, didn't come until like the 2010s because we had shows like Adventure Time, Regular Show, and Steven Universe. As for Class of 3000s, it's not talked about as much like other shows from the 2000s, but sometimes it gets a mention from those who remember it. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, and bye.